Hi, everyone. This is my new friend, Anne, and I met her when I was at White Rock, and it was a very serendipitous meeting. We were doing a vision board class together. So I find her very fascinating, and she's an author. So, Anne, can you tell everybody about yourself? I'm really excited.
Oh, okay. Yes, it was wonderful meeting you. I had done a previous vision board and found it to be really helpful to see what I wanted to create in my life and to actually see it in visual form. It really helped me feel good. I was going through a transition in my life, and I found I would, imagine something, make an image of it, write it on a whiteboard, whatever, and then I was just ticking stuff off, and it was happening and amazing me. So, but I walked in and I sat down at the board and didn't know a soul, just looked in your eyes and went, oh, she has clear eyes to the soul. I recognize her, and I'd never seen you in my life, but kindred spirit, I do it all the time. So I just find somebody and I just see it in their eyes. So it's really funny that we wound up, you invited me on your podcast, and I thank you very much.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So now we're going to talk about, because we can show them our vision board. I've got mine.
Oh, yes, I got mine here too, yeah.
Chiming. But if you want to tell them a little bit about the exciting things that have been happening for you as an author. I know you just had a new book come out and you have another one. So if you can share that with them and let them know where they can purchase it also.
Okay. I have my books close by here. So I started out always wanting to write from a little kid. I was good at fiction writing, but just did other things. I went to university and I had a bunch of accounting jobs and did well in that. And then I just, when I turned 50, it was like, no more. I got to do my dream. Life's too short. So I had a big transitional phase in my life where I realized that, you can live your life and it can be okay, but you can really make it great if you have a passion and a belief. And if you have a purpose and you believe in it, it spurs you on. You don't want to do anything else. You're just going, as you know yourself. So I started figuring out how to write by starting a blog, and I just thought, well, no one's going to read it, but at least I'll be doing what I love. And then I started like staying up all night doing the blog. It was great. I did 400 blog posts. I got 1 million views, and I started realizing I had a theme in my blog posts. And my purpose was to make people feel better. I knew there was a lot of depression and sadness, and I knew that mindset was the key, like thinking positive and believing in yourself and just spreading love or whatever. So I really learned how to love myself. I had a broken childhood and just started learning a lot about how to choose myself. And I got involved with a group called James Altucher. And one day he said, how do you guys start your businesses? How do you bootstrap? I got people who have no money. And I said, hey, I was this broke housewife putting all my money into my kids, and I used to stick $5 in a pickle jar. And every time I went to the grocery store and I got a $5 bill, I stuck it in my closet and just tucked it away and thought, one day I'm going to have enough for a blog, And so it's so lame, but it got in the Altucher report in New York. It's this hedge fund, financial advisory report. And this lady emailed me and said, how do you do your blog? I love it. Did you know you were featured in New York? And, and it just kind of started rolling from there. I saw, this is getting a good response, and it is helping people. And so I wrote this book, Pump Your Own Tires, Crossing the Bridge to Loving Yourself. And it's by Anne Hoy, my former name. And it's just a 58-page book, very simple, very straightforward, no fluff, no filler. And I've had people say it's their bedside go-to. They read it every day. It's helped them get through, struggles in their life. And, I've got a couple of real true fans, and this is their fave. So that is cool. If you can help one person,
Right.
And then I went on to my
Where
dream.
can I get that book in?
What's that?
Where can I get the first?
Oh, this is on Amazon. It's called Pump Your Own Tires.
Okay, I'll put that in the hashtags so people can get.
Oh, thanks.
Perfect. Okay.
So then I went all in on my fiction writing. I had never really written much fiction. I've read hundreds of books of nonfiction about self-help and loving yourself. That's how I ended up writing this book. I just distilled all the best knowledge that I could find. Because when my kids were little, I took them to the library every week, and they read, one summer they each read 50 books. Like, I really believe in reading, but you also got to take action and actually do the book too, you know. So then I thought, no, I want to do fiction. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I decided to make a real heavy duty challenge for myself and say, I have to write my first novel in 180 days, which is pretty unrealistic. You need about a year. But I did it. I just put my head down and my legs were numb. I had to go pee. I didn't care. I sat there and I wrote and it was crap. And I thought no one's going to read. And I felt like crying. And then I just look at it the next day and go, it's not that bad. I think I could fix it. And, you know, so I ended up writing Hello, Madison. That's my new release. And it's fabulous. This is a proof copy. And it's about modern dating relationships. It's about an old school gal who gets involved in the modern world, and she gets a divorce, and her daughter goes, I'm going to help you. And her daughter's just disgusted with her, you know, old fashioned beliefs. And the daughter's really, you know, sassy and brassy. So it's kind of it's funny and it's a cool clash. And I think it's the millennial boomer type theme that we see today, you know, with just the shock of the different, but it's all love in the end, and it all resolves in a pretty good way in the end. So,
you know what, that's fabulous. Well, that's really good, because the book that I have or co-authored is Game Changer, and it's about the new model of relationships. So there's going to be a funny kind of a twist in that, because even the millenniums will like it, but there's a lot of older people that are getting divorced and are going through almost their midlife crises, not sure what they're doing. So have fun with that book too, Anne. And I love the way you said how you just sat down and did it, and had you worked on purpose. And I do have to say, when I first seen you, the very first thing I noticed was your beautiful necklace. And I thought to myself, this lady is a very interesting soul. And of course you are an Aquarian. Okay.
I'm Aquarius, and the super moon was on my birthday, the first full moon of the new decade, and it was actually on February 9th. So none of my bank cards worked. I was full of electricity. Nothing would scan at the movies, nothing. Like,
no, because you have such an incredibly high frequency. And it's your high frequency, Anne, that you kept going, did what you needed to do. And one day you woke up, found your passion, found your purpose, and went for it. And these are the kind of things that I want people to know. These are the messages. Okay. And I have always wrote my intentions and that type of thing. But this was the very first time I worked on the vision board. And Anne has her vision board.
oh yeah.
My vision board. But we could put sparklies on it. And that's why.
Well, you were the vision. I was the gatherer of the research. I had multiple pictures and words. Remember? I had a file of what I wanted, and I had to edit so much. I had to minimalize, and so I could have had 10 vision boards, you know. And I went to you and went, yours looks beautiful. I haven't even started. You were done an hour early. You were top of the class, and I was like piles of, I want to do everything, you know.
But that's typical of a Capricorn, where I just focused at that time. And it was like, okay, this is what I want. I could only find so many books.
Yes.
And since I got back, I looked at some books, but here is mine. You can see I just added some word to it, because
what's that dollar bill you got? What's the money there?
It's a Trump bill.
I thought it was Trump. Let me see.
Yeah, I was given it to.
Beautiful.
So then I put on about my body I want to work on. I want to travel. I want to do more work. And then I actually just wrote. But what we really liked was we had all this little.
We like the bling, yeah.
That. Okay, if you can show them yours, Anne. Yours is beautiful. Everybody's just
I don't
beautiful.
know if you can see mine.
Oh, yes.
I've got the girl crush, Gwyneth Paltrow. She's been my girl crush for 10 years now, my celebrity girl crush. I used to have her Vanity Fair spread in my room, and I shed 50 pounds looking at her. She had a supermarket spread she was in a bikini buying milk and everything. And that was my inspiration. I remember I took my first fiction webinar, and I was telling all the girls, we did it every day for a week. And I said, yeah, so they just started calling me Gwyneth. And she's got the blog, she's got Goop, she's got 60 million bucks. She was married to Chris Martin. Like, it's just cool. And she consciously uncoupled, and she's got 4 days a week with Brad Falchuk. Like, I just like the vibe of what
Do you
she's
know what I like when you said uncoupled? Because I
Yes.
believe that nowadays, and I'm just working on a series of 3, and you will probably find it very interesting because it's the transition from the Piscean to the Aquarian age and how it affects relationships. I mean, it's going to be a shocker. But one of the things is Aquarians are true humanitarians.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about, oh, I'm going to take care of the world. No, no. It's about becoming your own co-creator with the divine and being very self-reliant, right, left brain, head, heart, everything combined, masculine and feminine. And that's when the term uncoupled come out. It's really good. And I'm going to go, I've got to get your books. I'm going to order both of them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, I am, because I find them very interesting. And I've been a reader all my life. I can remember one year my accountant gave me heck because I spent $10,000 on books. And it was just like I could use it as,
it pays off in times, you know?
Yeah, well, I could use it as a tax write-off for business because I love books. And it's
same. I got, my shelves are all filled, so I went to a really great author signing, and I didn't get him to sign because I thought, no, I can't buy any more books. You know, I was right beside him, and I thought, no, I just can't this time. But
oh, that's good. Well, I'm all excited because I have a new friend, Tammy. Hopefully I can interview her, and her book kind of sounds like yours. Yours is Pump Your Own Tires, and just something like that. Get it going, but I want to be able to share. And so what we'll do is, do you have anything else to say about the vision board?
The vision board, I just it's amazing what came up because I'm focusing on learning about marketing and sales. Unfortunately, in life, we're all in sales, no matter how much of an artist we think we are. If it's not sustainable, we ain't going anywhere. So for the last 4 months, I've been ingesting books on Audible about marketing, and I love it. It's like learning about the psychology of people's minds, and it's fascinating, you know. So I got to market with a bunch of books on, like, it's amazing what I found, you know, and this is my body that, you know, I want to have at the gym. Suzanne Summers, Aging in Reverse. I like her vibe.
Right.
And just lots of cool stuff. My hair, remember I was obsessed with my hair, and you're a hairdresser judge, and your hair's fine.
Beautiful. It was beautiful because those pictures you were thinking, I went, wow, she's got beautiful hair. So I think this is really good. And so, and maybe in a couple of months or something, we can come back and we can share something with them, how you're doing, how the book is doing. And like I say, I'll get the hashtags and I'll put it up, and I'm going to order it. And now we're friends. And I'll tell you, I have tons of acquaintances.
Yeah.
When it comes to friends, the moment I walked in and I seen you and I thought, she's different.
Yes.
That was my word. It was different. She's very unique. And then I thought, like, she's really out there.
I am. Yeah.
Which is because I have a Venus in Aquarius, so it's like, wow.
Yeah. I talk to angels. Yeah. When you said the 3 lights, when we talked on the phone and you said, I see the 3 lights, I thought, oh, she sees the 3 lights too. Yeah, those are angels.
Right.
Yeah.
You bring that into the world. So not only do you have the physical, because I look at the figure 8, I say our job is to, which you automatically did, is to tune in to the divine or the source and
Yes.
bring that down. That's the top part of the 8, and integrate it into this mundane and physical world. And when you're on purpose, it just kind of flows. And so you kind of put up with your life and did what you had to do. And then one day you just woke up. And the angels would have been there with you too.
Oh, they did. They spoke for me. I didn't even know what I was saying. Words came out of my mouth to change my life. And I thought, where did that come from? And I finally listened to my gut after all that time. My gut was saying the words. And when it came out, it surprised me.
It was a shock.
It was a shock to me that I said it. I had the guts. And when I said it, I was 100%. Like I'm an extreme 100% type person. So,
Yeah.
I was all in, like I had no doubt that was it. The switch is turned and,
And do you
that,
ever do any public speaking?
yeah, I do. I love public speaking. I love people and I love helping people. And that's part of my purpose is the spiritual connection and just to help people. So
Right.
I talked about my blog to people at WordPress and
Yeah.
this fellow came up to me. He said, hey, I'm writing a book. And, he was at the back. He was a volunteer. And he came up to me at the end of the session. He said, I know exactly what to do with my book now. And I never talked about his book. I never answered his question. He said, I just listened to you and I'm going to go home and I know exactly what to do. And I said,
But you know what? In my first book I did, because my first book is more about spa, but there's a whole chapter.
Yeah, you're a 4 times author.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I believe we're transformers. Somebody like you is a transformer. You can sit on a plane, you can talk to somebody, and if they're ready, Anne, you help them switch, you help them move. So what I'm going to do is, because we're just going to tie it up here, and
Okay.
I'm going to have you send me or maybe I have it on your business card, because I'm going to put everything so anybody can get a hold of you about the book, or if you're doing any speaking engagements, or if they want you to come as a speaker somewhere. Okay. I think you would be really good to go to, because I was a teacher for 20 years, to some of the teachers' conventions as one of their speakers, because there's a lot of students. I mean, because I can remember I worked at Victoria Composite. It was a fine arts school, and we had a fellow from the States come, and he said, he said a lot of the singers that were out there, they were told by their music teacher that they didn't have a good voice and they're very famous. And I think inside of everyone, there is a creative spirit, and it can be a book, it can be a song, because you have a son that's very much into music and that type of thing. And so it's going deep into our soul and finding what our purpose and everything is on. So I'm going to say thank you. If you want to say thank you to everybody, and we'll.
Yeah. And thanks for inviting me on. This is great. I just got a big rejection from the biggest authors convention in North America. I was going to have an industry spot there, and they said, no, sorry. So that's really encouraging. But I just thought, well, it's not the right place for me to be. And I just said, thanks very much. And, it's not my place right now. So that makes me feel really good.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be there, Anne. You know that. You're not supposed to be there. Something else is going to open up in about 3.5 weeks.
Ooh,
for you. So watch for it.
Okay. Nice.
Thank
you, Sandra. I really appreciate you.
Oh, take care. Now I got to figure out, I've got to make sure and stop the recording so I can save it, and you take care and you send me that information.
Yeah, I've got an outdated email on my business card. I realized I have a new email. So
just send everything to me on Facebook then.
Okay, that sounds great.
And I hope you enjoyed Anne. I love her and her books and her energy. And so now she could be your new friend too. Okay, take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.